talk about the future of the farmers' protests. Sainath is now on the program with us. We saw what you said about death by committee. We now know that one of the members has actually walked out already. There are others who are sympathetic, or rather I would say empathetic to what the farmers are asking for, but say that the farmers must talk to the panel and the focus should be on changing the composition and the representation in this panel to make it more equal, less biased. Is that a way forward?
Why should they talk to the panel? What, the word mediation or mediator implies someone who has credibility and standing with all the parties concerned, particularly with the aggrieved party. The aggrieved party here are the farmers, not the government. So if the Mr. Bhupender Singh Mann has resigned from the panel, it seems from the expert panel, it seems he's more expert than the government in reading the science on the ground. Okay? And in his home state. The thing is that a mediator by definition mediates. Between who and who will you mediate? If a side is not willing to recognize you, questions the integrity of the process and the panel, then who will you talk to? Will this panel be able to visit Singhu and Tikri tomorrow to speak to anyone? Where they're not wanted, it will be made very clear to them that they are not wanted. So I'm saying that, second, changing the composition of the panel.
Yeah.
The panel is constituted by the Supreme Court, but actually brought together by the government. Its members have been picked by the government. The names
are you saying the Supreme Court had no say? The Supreme Court, I just want to point out, the Chief Justice named you as one of the possible members of that panel. So hang on. So when we say, oh, this panel is lopsided, there are others who've said, well, Sainath could have been part of this panel and he chose not to be. Then you blame the Supreme Court and the government for being one-sided.
I'm questioning the entire idea of a panel. Okay. The thing is, the greatest panel ever, I want to take two things. One is the record of such Supreme Court constituted panels. I'll give you 4 examples. One, a really important panel was which I celebrated the Supreme Court's appointing, was a panel of the top scientists in the field in this country to look at genetically modified crops entering food crop. Yeah. Now, there wasn't a living being in this country who could question the credibility and credentials of those 5 people brought together. They passed unanimously, they urged, and when they did that, the government immediately imposed another member on them to put one little note of dissent. It doesn't matter, yes, no significance. The 5 of them said, please, we need a moratorium. We are getting into very dangerous territory. We need a moratorium on the trials. We need a moratorium on venturing into food crop. We really are getting into very dangerous territory. This is the Supreme Court appointed panel. The panel constituted, set up by the court.